What's up, everybody? It's your main man, 360 the Poet. Hey, Las Vegas, get ready to celebrate Freedom Day with Rainbow Dreams Educational Foundation at the 23rd Annual Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival. It's going down Saturday, June 15th from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Expo World Market Center located at 435 South Grand Central Parkway. Join us for a Jubilee celebration like no other, featuring food, vendors, live DJs, prizes, and a free concert you won't want to miss, featuring Billboard Top 10 artist Jay Brown, along with Maya Milan, Vice City, and Vegas' own Ray Millie. Free health screenings provided by Southern Nevada Health District. There's a kid zone, prizes, giveaways, and more. Empowering people and igniting the culture at the 23rd Annual Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival. For more information or to register for your e-tickets, visit June19lv.com. That's June19lv.com. This event is powered by Zappos, Google, and the Love Live campaign. Love freely, love openly, love fearlessly. Live you equals you.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 7025fm.com.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Shook, host of the Undrafted Outlaws Sports Show. Man, listen, if you want some real down south, Louisiana-style Cajun food, you need to go check out DB's Cajun Kitchen. Yo, they got lobster and grits, seafood boils, signature fries, signature po' boys, signature egg rolls, and dessert. Oh, and my favorite, them gumbo tacos. Yo, they open from 11 to 8, Wednesday to Monday, 7 to 5:30 on Sunday. Located in North Las Vegas at 4343 North Rancho Drive. They even have to-go orders and catering. Hit them up, 725-780-1850, or go to the website, dbcajunkitchen.com. So, yo, don't just tell your friends about me. Tell them about DB's Cajun Kitchen.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on Hot 702.5fm.com.
And just like that, it's Thursday again, and we are back with Talk of the Town.
Well, let's talk about it, Jay.
With J9
and Bneshab.
All right, well, we welcome you here to the show today. This is episode number 2, and we're here live bringing it to you, the two women of substance.
Yeah, the women of substance. That's what we are.
So, last week we talked a little bit about what the show was about and Talk of the Town and how the name sort of, came to be. And so, man, here we are, episode number 2. I'm so excited.
I'm super excited because we got a lot to talk about.
We do. So let's jump on in there because the health report is always going to take some time. And what I didn't do last time was fully explain what we mean about the health department making these visits to the restaurants. I feel like we really didn't give the listeners a full understanding of what we used to do, because if they followed us then, anybody new needs to know that I follow the health report from the Southern Nevada
Health District.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So we are following them, and we follow them as they do inspections, routine, and surveys, and call-ins.
Is it annual?
And many are annual. Some are re-inspections, and some are just call-in because we heard you were doing the wrong thing. And they have to show up. So I go behind them, and I check the list. And the list was a little extensive, but I will tell you, out of the thousands of restaurants, there are tons of A's.
Right.
Tons of A's. So people are doing the right thing.
Absolutely. There's some good food out there.
Some good food, good chefs, honest spots. And if they're not, we here to talk about it.
Let's get to it.
So, starting with all the C's, I decided to rule out the B's because a B is I would still, go to a restaurant if you got a B, because I trust the health department.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So, Americosas El Diamante is 2830 East Charleston Boulevard. They received a C grade that was 38 demerits on a routine inspection.
38?
Yeah. 40s, you're working on a shutdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's too many.
But for me, I just hate that they give them so many chances. It's so, but anyway.
I think the chances are based on the offense.
Okay.
So if your hand washing sink doesn't get hot enough, or
that could be a ding.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know what I mean?
Okay.
Or maybe
Okay.
you forgot to change the labels on the dates of the food, which is important. Don't get me wrong. But if you have a good history of it, then then maybe you got a ding. So I would still dine at a restaurant with a B, but I expect to see your report card when I walk in.
Ooh.
Right? Because there's some stores, some restaurants that will hide
They
their
hide
grade.
it. I don't know the grade. I mean, then I would be looked at as super, meticulous or anal or something. I want to see your grade. It's like the Zagat report.
I want to see your grade.
Yes, I want to see your grade. So no one really walks in and sort of sees that. We're just hungry, and we sit down, and we hope the service is good, and we hope the food is good, and we leave. Right?
And we hope that our stomachs digest properly.
That part.
So there is a Cafe Berlin on a June 10th routine, 4850 West Sunset. They received 38 demerits, a grade C. 888 Seafood Market, which I've heard things about that seafood restaurant that they carry, or seafood market that they carry, good seafood.
Okay.
Well, this routine visit at 4375 South Buffalo received a C grade, 36 demerits. And again, if you actually pull up these reports, you can actually see what the offenses are now.
Okay.
And I appreciate that. And here we go with this China A Go-Go.
Let's go.
I have since not been a fan of China A Go-Go or Chinese food, period.
For a long time.
For quite some time.
For quite some time, yeah.
So China A Go-Go is your fast food Chinese restaurant that sometimes can be a hit and miss.
Okay.
This is a miss. If you go on to
Apparently.
1983 North Nellis, they got 36 demerits. And the problem that I have with China A Go-Go is that they routinely show up on this report. Individually owned, so each one is accountable for their own behavior.
Okay.
But that's a problem.
That is a big problem.
Yeah, your chain is constantly getting dinged. And in the C's, not just, a slap on the wrist. They're in the C's. And these are places, when they're C's, I'm not going.
I'm not going. We kind of, yeah.
Right. El Dorado Cantina, which is 8349 West Sunset. They received 30 demerits. Sushi Bomb Sushi Bar, 32 demerits. That's 10470 West Charleston. If you like your sushi, this is supposed to be a good spot.
I don't like that.
Yeah, you can't play with people's food anyway, but then don't play with the seafood because it's almost a double whammy.
It's a double. Oh, seafood go bad so quick, dog. I just, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go vegan on them. I mean, you try, but it's like, man, just.
Yeah, honey. So
that's horrible.
Tacos Mexico.
Okay.
It's 3820 West Sahara.
I'm Mexican.
Right down the street from us, where we are. They received a C grade, 28 demerits, but it's still a C grade because the C grade is the magnitude. So, how did you get 28 and still get a C? So,
it could be that hand. It could be that water don't get hot in the bathroom.
That's the one.
One of them little small ones or something. I don't know.
This next one is Super Mercado Los Compadres.
Yo
Go
soy
with your
español.
Espanol.
Sí, yes. That's all. Yeah, yo hablo español muy bien. Real good.
Real good.
Real good. You're not about to speak Spanish in front of me and think I don't know what you're talking about.
I can get a hit and miss.
No. I know.
Don't be negative.
Yo comprende. No. Mm-mm.
Well, you better head on over to 4381 Stewart Avenue and ask them what the problem is. Because they received a C grade. They got 30 demerits on a routine visit. Dorma Korean Barbecue, 10640 Southern Highlands. They got 38 demerits. I mean, you were talking about you guys are working on closures, The Banana Leaf Malaysian Cuisine, 4267 Spring Mountain Road, 30 demerits.
Pause. There's a plethora of ethnic foods out here. Like all these restaurants, I don't think to eat. Mm-hmm. What did you say the name was?
Dorma Korean Barbecue. I like Korean barbecue when it's made fresh. That means it's kind of like that. When they cook it in front of you type style.
I eat in season.
And what does that mean?
That means barbecue only go in the summertime. I mean, that's the only time I ever had barbecues in the summertime. Ding me if you want to, but, because I eat pork still.
Okay.
Yeah. Had a pork chop yesterday. You slap your mama with it. I you know what I'm saying? Because I could afford it, and I eat whatever I want because I eat in moderation, So not only is the food report good to know where to eat and where to get clean, good food around here in Vegas in the town, but also we just gonna always be giving you food tips, dietary tips, workout tips, things like that.
That's right.
Yeah, you should be able to eat a pork chop if you want to.
And this tip is where not to go when people are behaving badly.
Yeah.
So BP Pizza, 1370 East Flamingo, 36 Demerits on a routine. So routine means they're coming.
And you don't straighten up. You don't straighten up, the inspection coming.
Right.
And you just don't really care because why? Because you get many chances, so many dings. They probably say this ain't gonna shut us down. This isn't gonna shut us down. So they just, they deal with it and keep going.
Well, now talk of the town is talking about you.
Yeah.
And anybody else might not be, but we
talking about you because I rarely eat out. So when I do, I just expect, something decent. I don't expect what I be getting sometime. Keep going.
Right. So Namba Sushi, 2760 West Deer Springs, 36 Demerits. And so when these are routine and they're coming with a roundabout time frame, you fail miserably. It's not like
you didn't study, you didn't read nothing. You just
showed up for work and opened the door for the health inspector. And I'm so glad that we get to know about it. So Pokemon. You can't have Pokemon as the name of your restaurant and fail miserably. 3735 Spring Mountain, they failed with the C-grade 28 demerits.
That's over in Chinatown anyway.
Spring Mountain is questionable often.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so, I mean, hey, to each his own. But this one particularly, Southern Express Soul Food has shown up on my report at least twice.
Okay.
This is now the third time. That's
2810
Maryland Parkway. That's that buffet style food that I'm not always a fan of.
Not anymore post-COVID. We stay away from buffets post-COVID because we don't want to touch the spoon after everybody.
Well, they don't. They serve it for you.
They serve it for you.
They do serve it for you.
Okay.
But it's still the concept of open food that needs to be rotated every 4 hours.
4?
It's 4 hours. Food can sit for 4 hours as long as it's at the temperature that is appropriate for that dish. So cold and hot. There ain't no lukewarm.
It's a science to it. It's a science to it. So,
and I was a little upset because between September 21st and May 31st, they've received 5 B's, 4 A's, 2 C's, and got closed. They haven't been here that long. So, I hope that they really take their time to get it together. But while I'm talking about closed, I got to talk about everybody because that's a soul food restaurant, black owned. But I want to talk about Carlito's Burritos. They were closed on May 30th, 4300 East Sunset. Live Fire Restaurant was closed, 4300 East Sunset. I don't know what. Oh, okay, they go together.
Okay.
And then the El Heredara nightclub was closed, 3402 East Lake Mead. And we have a problem with Lake Mead particularly.
That'd be the west side.
That would be the west side. And then there's Seafood City, which I go to often, but not this particular one. They were shut down during a survey at 7230 Arroyo Crossing Parkway. Okay. So we just happened to stop into the west side because we was on some old gangster, wanting to support our local nightclub. So we show up at the WSO. Talk about it.
Well, personally, I was going because it's been upgraded. Hadn't been there in...
Oh, because it ain't the 7 C's anymore?
Yeah, the old school 7 C's. And so, years ago, back when Iron Mike used to be in there.
Buying the bar.
Yeah, I mean, I met Mike Tyson in there. So, long story short, it's a landmark. It was a fixture in the community for years. My family, that's just where they used to go back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and all that in the 2000s. But... we go in there, it's remodeled, it's beautiful now.
It's nice.
I would say it's nice compared to what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's upgraded and everything. But
it's still bar food. And it's bad bar food. And knowing that we're foodies and knowing we can't order from every place we decide to patronize.
When you bored, you eat, right? That's what they say. So,
and when you drink, you eat, which we weren't drinking that night. So we were fully conscious of the decision we made.
I can't even blame it on the act. Like, I can't even do none of that. Yeah, right. No, it was straight up just eating because it was there.
Because it was there.
Unfortunately. And it was bad bar food. They should be on your list. That's it. They should be on the food report. They should be getting. Yeah,
I did a history, and they don't seem to get visits too often. So I don't know if because a lot of the community council people will go there. They have different type of council events and things of that nature. But they got skipped a bit. I only see a report in 2023, but it's only early in 2024, and they received A's for the bar and the restaurant. But I ordered catfish.
Nuggets. That was horrible. That I don't know what.
I think they battered the batter and served that shit to me.
No, it was very nasty. My sliders just had piece, like a little corner of a cheese and just meat and the bread. It wasn't no lettuce, no tomatoes, no. It was dry. It looked like Alpo. Looked like dog food.
And I don't mean to be funny, but there was a non-black white woman who was running the bar.
Rude.
We had every reason why we weren't supposed to order this food, but we did anyway.
Yeah, because people be having a bad day. Yeah, sometimes people be having a bad day. Yeah, it was just terrible. I'm not patronizing no more. They need to come up though, for real.
They need to come up.
And they need to be on the list. That food they was serving was ridiculous. Like,
especially considering they almost didn't make it here last year, and they were talking about they wanted millions of dollars for somebody to buy them out. Maybe they should have considered.
Yeah. Well, the food, they get an F if they failed.
They did.
Yeah, that was so not going to WSO, that's for sure.
No, not at all. But I did dine at the Wynn 2 months. If you go to my Facebook page, J9 Roberts, you'll see that I dined at a brunch spot. And it was everything that it was supposed to be. It's the Wynn. So I expected nothing less. I did set my standards high, and they met it.
I worked at the Wynn for a brief moment.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's fairly new because it's the they serve you at your table. So instead of that buffet crap, they bring all that good stuff to your table. I think it's called, why do I not know the name? It's Le Breve or something like that.
Not familiar. Gonna try it though.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
The Wynn is a nice
when
property.
you go to the Wynn, all of their restaurants are pretty nice. This one is a bring it to your table buffet style.
Okay.
And they come often, so your table's pretty full. It's just a pleasure.
All right.
Especially when you're eating on a heavy scale. So
That's
come
good.
with your munchies. Okay. But that was the full report. It was a full report. Went a good 15 minutes because we want the restaurants to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. And we will continue to watch their behavior. Good, bad, and ugly.
That's fine by me.
So, how are you doing?
I'm in the valley of decisions, but I'm doing good. I'm healthy. I'm watching my intake. I'm maintaining. I'm learning. I've been at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas since January. I finished a semester and I finished a class, and I'm going to share some information about what I learned, a little bit about what I learned in the class. It was a PhD level sociology class. But it's over. I really didn't do that well, so it kind of got me down, honestly. So there's another program that I'm trying to work my way through, and it just, trying to learn when you are a woman of a certain age isn't easy because, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and so I'm trying to continue to learn because it's never too late, they say. So I'm her. I'm trying to learn something.
The beauty of that is when I'm all about firing your neurons more now than ever, considering
I'm
I have
firing
something
yours
going
up.
on.
I'm going to fire yours up. We be talking that talk.
And walking that walk. I believe that you talked last week about walking 3 times a week prevents dementia. I also believe that ongoing learning prevents dementia because we're talking about blood firing off in your brain with oxygen and all those things that tend to go dormant when you get into dementia and brain diseases.
In layman's term, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay?
Hey.
So I'm trying to just sharpen, my mind so that I can work until,
That's right.
I don't have the desire to actually retire at 65, like the standard plan.
You just don't want to work for the man.
So I'm going to work for some man. But not the man we went on the date with. Girl, okay, let's just bring it on in. Let's segue. That's a nice transition.
That is a segue.
I'm going to work for some man, but not,
Yeah, but not in that traditional respect.
Traditional respect, no.
So you're at the mall. I get a call that some man flipped out over himself trying to get to you at the mall. Expound.
Well, I mean, it was just one of those days. I was looking cool that day, and so I guess he thought so, and he ran up the escalator backwards. It was like a movie. He was going.
He ran up the escalator
backwards, and I was rooting for him because it was
now,
it was a
keep
while.
in mind though, he's going up the down.
I'm going up. He going down. And he turned around because and he just kept going. I'm like, whoo, he made it. But false alarm. But I really was. I was flattered. You know how we are as women when because I don't get approached that much from men because I look like I got a man. You're right because I look like I got a man. But what is that? I don't got no ring on my finger, so I don't got no man. But I keep myself together because I'm a woman of substance.
Correct.
We are women of substance, and to all the women of substance, keep yourself together. You never know when your day gonna come. So I was like, okay, I'm open. Okay, so, he run up the stairs, whatever. Not to spend too much time on it. We go forward on a date. It was fun. You were there because he had a friend. Both of them was on you, but I said, no, I got somebody for you. We had a great time at the Durango. Great food. I was shout out the Durango bar food. That was good. We watched game 1.
That is correct.
We watched game 1, so I'm into it, because, game 3, what happened yesterday? Okay, game 1. So anyway, we watched the game. It was fine, so he invited us out again, right? And everybody kicking it at the, what you call the place we went to? Town Center. So
yes.
They doing it, they doing it there. It was nice, 5 people, whatever. And he just acted like he was acting brand new. I asked a friend, I said, where's the dude that ran up the escalator? Where he at? I'm asking his friend. And the friend was like, oh, you don't know. I don't know what's wrong with him. I would never be like that. So his friend was his friend really, he wasn't on code with his partner. And y'all supposed to be on code. Me and my partners, we always on code. But here's the thing. The friend had manners. He was from St. Louis, right? Mm-hmm. So he got manners. And not to say that the men
But the friend was married.
I didn't know that.
So let's run this one. So the friend, we meet at the Durango, like you said. Everything was nice. He was a little yellow boy, which really isn't my preference. But we're open, right? Women of substance.
Hey, I liked it, Al B. Sure. Now.
And that's about as far as we go.
Christopher Williams too. Them was the 2 light skinned. Ed Elder Bars, all 3 of them. On my wall, from the right on. They was on my wall. They was on. Okay.
True that. I give you that.
Yeah.
However, going past the yellow, he was, decent structured. He had small hands. That drove me nuts because it felt a little ET-ish.
Oh,
but anyway, I moved past that. I sit next to him. We have a great conversation. I learned that he's married, but he's living in one of these situationships where the wife is one place and he's another place. So he says, married is an automatic no for me. Always has been. However,
always has been.
We're on a date. Or we're on a you and I are on a date.
Yeah. We out with them, but I didn't know none of that about him because you're talking to him. I don't know that.
And then the bill came. And
mine wasn't married. He said he wasn't married.
No, he sure didn't. And when the bill came, your friend paid for it. So I looked to my side and I'm like, well, baby, where your money at? I'm not asking, but I'm asking.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how y'all roll. You got this one, he got the next one. No, that was not the case. Fast forward.
Fast forward.
We meet him the next day.
No, a couple days later.
Couple days later. My friend
this
is
game
excited.
2. We going to watch game 2.
That's correct.
So we watch game 1 Thursday. Then we watching game 2. So we get to the place or whatever, and they just start acting weird.
Yeah, it was very weird.
It was very weird.
Very weird.
But like when you don't know someone, you just don't know them. And so I'm glad he acted weird, right there. So of course, he, he in the rearview mirror now. But we're just saying this, ladies, follow your instinct, follow your guts.
Because our gut was to go to Aliante and watch the game.
We wasn't even trying to.
But we really didn't want to go down to, because I don't really do, what's the name of the spot? It's Blue Martini.
Town Center. Oh, okay.
I don't do Blue Martini like that.
That was my first time.
It is a very much especially on a Sunday, it's an out of town spot. So that's why we probably felt weird. Not only are the locals not necessarily in there, when they are there early, they get up and leave. But it's also a spot where people go to meet people.
Is it?
Oh, it's a hookup spot for sure.
See, it's a hookup. Well, that's one and done. I don't have to return or anything like that. I was just being open, like you said, because
So the friend calls, and he gets me on the phone, and I'm like, "How's your wife?"
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Right. He says, "I told you about my situation. I don't care what you told me about your situation. What I'm telling you is, don't call me.
Don't call me.
And when you work it out and you got divorce papers, then you can talk."
Okay.
So married men don't even approach. Stop approaching women knowing you're not available.
Absolutely.
You might consider yourself available because maybe you're living a life where you and your wife have decided you're going to live separately.
Y'all could do the open thing like Will and Jada. Because some men be like that,
right?
With their wives. But that's unbeknownst to us,
that's right.
Because they don't wear rings and things like that. But anyway, so that was our.
Tell me up front. And then let me know if I want to work with that.
And
that's what he did. Oh, he did. But he did. He said it up front.
Okay.
We just went out because we were going out.
We was already out. You was helping me out. You was doing me a favor because I don't really be going out with dudes. I told you I don't really date. So I'm like, girl, come with me.
Right.
And, but anyway.
But anyway. So, that's what happens when you meet a woman of substance and a woman
when you meet a woman of substance. You heard that?
Mm-hmm. And what does that mean? That means a solid presence. That means authentic, genuine.
It also means a woman who, a woman who loves God because he first.
For sure.
So I don't want to be roping you to go to Sunday school. And when I'm going to Sunday school, you think I'm somewhere else. Like, I need a dude that love the Lord. That's my criteria. And unfortunately, it's they out there. They probably already married. I don't care. But I'm just saying there's
a new batch.
It's a new
on
batch?
the horizon.
Oh, okay. We praying for them. I mean, we're praying for them.
We most certainly are.
We praying for them because I'm
that
cool.
Women of substance means that we are not interested in married men. And I don't care what your circumstance is. It doesn't matter if you are still legally tied.
Yeah, I don't do situationships and all that. I don't even date I don't do none of that. But here's a nice transition. So talking about women of substance and what we don't do in loving God, how you ask, can I just be so happy and so upbeat, and I don't have a man? Because I get that from a lot of my friends. And I try to help my friends who are single, because a lot of us are. I only got a couple of married friends. But I have discipline, self-control. And when you have those things, you see things that the average person who's walking around here not seeing. You see, you kind of living in a spiritual world. So I got eyes, but
right.
But
what do I see?
Yeah, but what do I really see? And so that's...
So that word, discipline, is a really tough word.
For who?
Well, let me tell you why. Because there is what I feel a very significant spiritual meaning, and then I feel that there is a very significant worldly meaning, and there is a balance in between. And the reason I say that is because that worldly meaning tends to indicate that there is a punishment behind being disobedient.
It is.
Certainly.
Yeah, you're going to hell if you don't do what God say. So there it is right there. Now, you just answer your own question because I got a feeling that you got a problem with discipline. But let me just read what the Webster's Dictionary says because I looked it up.
Please do.
And just a small, it says control gained by enforcing obedience or order. Now, I'm political science undergrad major, UNLV graduate. Now, here's the thing. order is something that I've been big on my whole life because my mama ran our house in order. Like, and so I'm used to order. So you don't have to really, I don't have to police you don't have to police me. I'm going to police myself. Now I got out of line, but I'm saying in general, order.
So there is a distinction between just the general word discipline and self-discipline. There is.
Okay, you're right. You could talk about control in a more wider sense,
okay.
but I'm gonna bring it all the way into self-control.
Okay.
I like self-control because that's all we can do is
govern
control
yourself.
the self.
You better govern
I
yourself.
really can't control other people, and I'm starting to let people go because I don't have time to control you. I can't control you. I mean, It's really a waste of all of our energies to control one another. But we do like to do it because my mama had us in line. But after a while, you just let people go, like because you don't have no self-control. I can't take you with me because I already know how you're gonna get down.
Right.
You out of control in some arenas, and we had that about someone who's out of control, and you can't come with me because I don't trust what you gonna do because you ain't got no self-control.
Listen, discipline has a lot to do with trust.
Trust?
Because if I'm going to, absolutely. If I'm going to allow you to control me, and when you say control, obey, these are the hardcore words that Webster uses when it comes to the definition of discipline, then I'm going to need to, for an instance, I'm going to need to trust you if you are aligning yourself with something that I'm trying to accomplish, and I need the discipline to do so. And the discipline can come from the practice of training people to obey the rules.
Okay,
but I got to trust you.
Okay, okay. That's true. So your kids should trust you. So whoop them. That's what I say. Because I don't think nobody getting old school whoopings like how I got. And my mama used to whoop me probably till I got 14. And my brother always used to say, "You didn't whoop me, you didn't whoop her enough." And I'd be like, "Why are you trying to get me in trouble?" You know what I mean? But I did get a lot of whippings. I think we all did. But that was where we were coming from. That was the belt. Right. It wasn't abuse. So
and discipline is different now.
It's different now. People don't even have none. They don't have none.
They don't have any.
They don't have none. So that's why we are where we are with our young people, which I'm working with some. I have 18 kids in a program that a friend of mine has, and we're working together. And I'm the mentor. So things about self-control. I want to say this. This is something I learned at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas this past semester. There's a gentleman by the name of Travis Hershey, who's from the Bay Area or went to the University of Cal Berkeley. You could just Google him, Travis Hershey, Hirschchi.
Okay.
He wrote a book called A General Theory of Delinquency, right? And so he talked about criminality. This was a criminal theory class I took, and I learned a lot. I didn't do well in the class, but I learned so much. And so there's 4 elements to the bond of self-control, and they are attachment, commitment, involvement, and belief. When you lack in those 4 areas, you almost become delinquent. And so he broke them down, which, we don't have time to break them all down. But attachment, meaning lack thereof. Your mother is your first teacher. So if your mama can't make you do nothing, that's how the police gonna beat you up. Like, because your mom, you ain't even listen to your mama. Come in the house by 9 o'clock. You ain't in by 9 o'clock. Okay, you gonna get a whooping. And if that don't work, okay, see you in juvie.
Right. And I've watched so many mothers and fathers go through a series of disciplining their kids without that don't have any self-control or respect, and they've exhausted their measures of hey, I'm gonna put you to boot camp, I'm gonna put you to some of these kids are out of control, clearly, because that's why this study is so significant.
This was done in 1969, but it is a go-to piece for all sociologists, and policy implications and laws were created because of this book, because of his study. I mean, he studied a lot of young youth up in San Joaquin County in the Bay Area.
Which, that's funny, because one of the words in the discipline, or one of the definitions, was a branch of knowledge, typically one studied in higher education. So it makes sense.
It makes super sense. If you're not attached and you have attachment problems. I watch a young mother not be, what's the word that women get? Postpartum syndrome. I know young girls having babies, and they just don't have that
attachment,
that bond.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch it, and I just like, okay, I got to keep my eye on this one and that one, and extra love on these children whose mothers aren't. The bond of attachment is missing. So that's the very first one. That's the most strong one. So many other books have been, he was criticized, but I believe him. I believe him. And so many other things come from that. Commitment. Your child needs to be committed to something. Like, take them to church, please.
Right.
Involvement. You know, everybody, we always want to put a ball in our boys and girls' hands when they little. It's more to life being involved in than just sports, young
Most
people.
Definitely.
Yeah, you
Most
know,
definitely.
get a library card and see how many books you can read in a week.
Correct.
Belief.
But you got to be involved. You got to be involved. That is such a key to learning. Is being involved. You learn, you know, team work. You learn, you know, to show up on time. So those are the discipline measures that start to.
The D word comes in with discipline, with punctuality. I mastered that about 20-some years ago, because I used to always be late, and I just stopped that. Like, even 30 years ago, I stopped that.
I just recently stopped it, and I think it was being a flight attendant, because you had to be the timing, and I mean the timing.
That's why you're not a flight attendant now. Because you had to be on time all the time. Yeah, that's it. That's why. That's why. Because you said I'm not a morning person.
Yeah, but it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
I had to get paid.
Yeah.
And I had to be there an hour before the flight.
Okay.
And I had to be on the bus 15 minutes before that hour. So I mean,
My cousin is
this was all about connecting the dots. You had to connect the dots, and if you missed one step, you've missed your whole flight, or possibly your whole pre-flight, and now you're going to get stuck in the aft. And people hated being the last person to pick a shift, or to pick, you know, where you wanted to be on board. So it taught me a lot about how much you can get done in 30 seconds, in 60 seconds. It did, because it boiled down to exactly that.
Wow.
Minute by minute, hour by hour. So I did. I had to, you know, I had 3 kids, and I let that be the excuse why I didn't show up on time, because it really was. I had to figure my place out in the world and how to do 3 kids head and show up.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that. Because I got 1 kid, so it was real easy.
Boy.
And he a boy,
Yeah.
so he
wasn't worried about his hair.
My
as much.
son was the best son ever as a kid. Now, don't ask me what he like right now, because he grown and he do his own thing and he don't listen to his mama, but he does listen to his mama. But again.
But now back to number 3.
Involvement. Okay, so it's 4 elements of the bond of your kid, like what you should be. What were we talking about? Discipline. So attachment, commitment, involvement, and belief. Those 4, and he expounds on them a lot. Like, I just can't. Like I said, you need to believe in something. You need to be involved in something. You need to be committed to something. And you need to be attached to something.
Hello.
Now, commitment and involvement could be synonymous. Like, because if you're committed, of course you're involved. So the time dimension of being involved is being committed. So I just think that I'm big on discipline. So
let's talk real quick, because again, because to me, okay, the root of the word discipline for me is disciple.
Let's go.
And that is one who follows. So that's why I said there's a difference between.
Okay, well, if I can't get you to follow me, then what?
But then if you get me to follow me, I have to trust you. So that brings me back to the trust.
Okay, you're right. You could go. We're going somewhere else.
So we're going somewhere. We're going somewhere a little differently, only because.
Okay.
If you want to go by some of what the word says, God isn't about punishment. He's about inviting.
Well, he came to the world to save us. He gonna chase you, and I feel like I'm being chased right now.
I know.
But he didn't come to condemn the world. He came to save us, and so that dropped in my spirit last week. Like, God is not trying to kill me because I feel weighted down. You know,
Sure.
when you're going through what you're going through, you have a family, you have people around you, have your own self, and I felt weighted down. And I was like, God, not trying to kill me. So I started being happy, because I knew that. That was what the devil wanted me to believe that I was being punished because I didn't do well in a class that I probably didn't want to be in no way, but in seeking knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what's good for me, so I have to pray every day, because if you don't know where you're going to end up at the end of the day anyway. So last week I said the scripture was in Proverbs. Yeah, acknowledge the Lord in all your ways, he shall direct thy path. And sometimes you're directing yourself. And
Right.
till you wind up in a dead end.
And after I've done all I can do, I will stand.
You have to. You have to.
So in using that word discipline, it tends to make people feel like it's control, it's regulation, it's it's
They don't
direction,
like it.
because those are the synonyms of the word discipline.
Okay.
And so it makes it. I
okay.
know, but you used to be a correctional officer, so
I'm all about correction. I'm all about correction. I stand to be corrected. Correct me because I want to be right.
I do.
And so I'm struggling right now with some of my friends and some of my close relatives and people that I'm real close to. They don't like constructive criticism. They can't stand it.
A lot of people
and
don't.
I don't
because
think,
they feel like there's only certain people that they will receive it from.
Well, you just said if I don't trust you. Well, you ain't got to trust me because I'm right. I'm right. See,
you could be right, but
I am right.
I can trust you with the information, but I may not trust you to follow you. That's the key.
You don't gotta follow me. You just gotta do what you don't gotta follow me, right. But you don't have to follow anyone. Just follow God. But if He sends someone your way to say,
right.
"Hey, that's wrong,"
right.
or look at yourself, or
right.
if you want to elevate. You're going to have to go to class and sit there for a couple years. It's about elevation. It's about being better as you grow.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Like, I don't even want to date myself.
And so people who can't receive the correction and can't establish the discipline will find themselves in certain types of particular situations, and there's certain behaviors that will show up because there definitely is no self-control if you can't learn what discipline means from someone else.
Your mama. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's her job. Mm-hmm. Your father. Okay, if those two people
who are
or
in charge,
whoever has the rule over you, like I'm being honest. If you don't have a mother and a father, and I'm talking to the people who say, well, you got an auntie, you got an uncle, you got a cousin, you got a teacher,
you have a counselor.
You got a teacher. You got somebody in your life that's pointing you to correction, and
that's
you
right.
just don't want it because you lazy. Oh,
right.
That's another word.
That's a whole nother word.
That's an L word.
And if you want to carefully control yourself, you want that self-discipline, set a goal. That's a good way to find out how disciplined you are. Set a goal.
Set many of them because I keep, set a
goal. And then try to stick to it, because what it is it's the skill of strenuously cultivating a righteous life. Hello. Let's talk about that again. It's the skill and the strenuous cultivation of wanting a righteous life. So having discipline is a skill. It's a skill.
It's a skill.
And one of the things about discipline is it's a virtue, and it allows a person to exercise that self-control, which is the true fruit of the Spirit.
Amen. That sounds good, because that's how come I be happy and I don't got everything I want. I don't got everything I want and I'll be happy. That's a God thing right there, because I got a laundry list of stuff, but I learned not to we talked about being grateful. We got so many words, but we're just trying to drop some gems here.
These are jewels.
Some gems so that you can look at yourself and see the good. I try to see the good in people.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And being grateful for the little things, like getting up this morning and having another shot at it is what it's all about.
And speaking of shot, I'm going to give a shout out to my BFF, Jezzy. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Jez. If you're watching, if you're listening, she is my ride or die for the last show that we had here on Hot 702.5.
Okay.
And
so I her a little later.
That was discipline to get up, show up for 17 months to co-host this show.
All right. Hey,
shout out to my girl.
Happy birthday.
I also want to send a condolences to one of my good friends, Ken, who is now, this is the third funeral he's been to in less than 30 days. And these are young people. Two of them were young people. And young to me is anything under 60. And so,
anything under 60 is young. Ooh,
so really anybody 70. Who's listening, right? Anybody who's listening, who's going through good, bad, and ugly. That is my phrase, because we're in and out of that thing. Some days are good, some days are bad, some days are really ugly. But going through it, I'm going to send love and blessings and God's grace and comfort to all of those who are going through, dealing with death and dying.
Yeah,
It's rough.
I just got some news. One of my cousins in Louisiana just passed away.
Yeah, God bless. So this life is to be lived, honey. And it's to be lived with some governors. It's to be lived with some self-control.
And a lot of self-control. If you have that, you go a long way.
You can go a long way.
You can go a long, and love. But when you can control yourself, it just makes for a better outcome of whatever it is that you're trying to do.
That's right.
With the, if you can control yourself, then you can be disciplined. But if you can't control yourself, then it's going to be hard for you.
Right.
And to the mothers out there who got kids, spend time with your kids.
Right.
They don't have to really have this
and
label.
Find something constructive for them to do.
Yeah.
Mothers and fathers.
Yeah.
That don't involve the screen time. Because I'm trying to discipline myself from constantly having an attachment to the phone when it is not necessary or business or bringing me some money or making an appointment. I'm trying to be more disciplined in the types of information that I receive, because today was a hard day for me. And it was hard because I woke up with a left-sided headache. So I already know that there's some inflammation in these nerves in my head if my head is hurting. I went to get up and I stumbled. And I'm thinking, okay, now I'm feeling dizzy.
Is that vertigo?
It's the vertigo, the dizziness, the stress.
Okay.
So I had to take a moment, take a breather. And so what I feel, ladies and gentlemen, is that you have to be very cognizant of, we already talk about the food that you eat. We already talk about the
signs that your body gives you.
And you got to listen.
You got to listen to your body.
Got to listen.
And
Mine said lay down.
And you lay back down.
And I laid back down. Mm-hmm. And then I said, I have to speak to myself. Speak life to yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Speak life.
Speak life.
Speak
over
positive.
Yourself. That's right.
Because you should be able to heal yourself at least enough for you to function if you put some belief behind it.
Absolutely.
Put some faith behind it.
Absolutely.
So I spoke to myself and I spoke to the illness. And I spoke to this little pea in my head. And when I say that, for any of you who don't know, I have a benign brain tumor. And so it causes a little havoc because it's actually sitting in the canal of my balance nerve. And so today was a hard day, and it was one of the hardest ones. But nobody would know that because I spoke life to myself.
I'd just be like, you better gloss them lips. I don't even be.
She told me, if you don't gloss them lips and get to that radio station.
I'm the type really don't have compassion on people's things. I'm a compassionate person because I have to push through so much. And
I am a strong believer of push through the pain.
Push through it. What you doing?
And you don't babysit the pain.
Right. I mean, you could go home and have a headache later, but it's
legit.
Yeah, it's legit. I mean,
call a spade a spade.
It's like Michael Jordan and Kobe didn't playing with they injuries.
They play with their ailments.
I treat myself like an athlete, even though I'm not. I punish like the Bible says, or Paul says, I keep my body under. By punishing and making it do what it would not.
Put it into subjection.
So
push away from the table when you have too much.
Fasting and praying is a lifestyle. I haven't fasted in a while, but we usually fast every January, 21 days. Some go 40 days, but it is a habit that I have of keeping my body under. And it's spiritual, but at the same time, it's good for you. It's good for you.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, to be able to tell your stomach, I'm not a
gonna
slave
feed you.
To you.
I'm not going to feed. Cause you know what? I think the stomach got a mind of its own. They say it sends signals. So sometimes it does send signals. We talk about that. Listen, I'm not eating after 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes I do. I give in. I'm not saying have a messed up life. If you want a piece of cake in the middle of the night, get a piece of cake in the middle of the night. But don't make it a habit.
Right.
Because those habits show up on you. And then when I see that waistline looking the way it look, you ain't fooling. I already know why your waistline looked the way it looked.
What did we talk about? Wigs and waist trainers.
Oh, wigs and waist trainers. Okay, now speaking of wigs and waist trainers, I don't know. I feel like you gotta have them two things. If you're a woman, you gotta have wigs and waist trainers to keep going. Because as we are going natural, as I see these beautiful sisters with this beautiful natural hair, I love that.
Yes.
And but sometimes the natural look doesn't always become us.
Right.
And so, I mean, you know what I mean? Just looking kept. And sometimes with our natural hair, we can look. I got wool.
Right.
I got wool.
Right.
I need a
There's
whole
no
perm.
way I can go to the gym today and not expect an afro.
Right. And
It's
so
just, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's the way
However,
it is.
I don't care. I've gotten to the point now where that doesn't
I don't
bother
even
me.
care. We
It's not-
braid it up.
That's a little vain.
Man, I could work out in a wig. I'm cool with it. So
I
the thing,
can too.
I can work
Right.
out in a wig. I could do all kind of stuff. Like it's not. I got a whole line of. You need a wig and a waist trainer, ladies. That's all I gotta say. You need a couple of. You need a few
Snatch
good wigs and a
that
few
waist.
good waist trainers because
I agree.
it helps with your posture as you get older.
It
I mean, if
does.
you 21, you probably don't need one. But if you over 40, I'm gonna say get one and work it 3
And I'd
times
say
a week.
get one even if you do have a nice slim waist and you're young, because some of the things that we need to do need to be preventative. And so if I could tell a young person
Your
to do
posture.
things to
to maintain your posture.
and I have a long torso, so I need to be sitting up. I can't do bucket seats and things like
I got a
that.
short torso, but I still.
But
need
you still need to be stout
still
and,
need-
and yeah, stand
your posture
firm.
has to.
It matters.
Yeah, it keeps us going.
So we're coming to the wrapping up of the show. Oh my God, I was so excited to be here today.
Me
I was excited to
too.
prepare.
Me
We're
too.
not sure where Talk of the Town is actually going to go, but we know it's going.
Oh, it's going.
Yeah, the train has left the station.
Okay, you got some things you got to do.
I do.
So it'll be 21 days at least before we.
Yeah, I'm heading back
decide.
to LA next month.
You are. In a couple
and so we're
weeks.
going to have some extensive training so that we know what my recuperation is going to look like. I am still taking cash apps. Shout out to the men who sent me cash apps and said, get my toes done and my nails done. I haven't done it yet, but shout out to the men and the women who said they wanted to send me a little something.
Oh yeah, them feet. Get them feet
Taylor Made
done.
Biz is my cash app. I'm heading to LA in the next 2 weeks because I want to, next month, because I'll have to do some testing. So I have to stay there for 2 days to do this testing, meet with the doctor, and understand where the surgery is going to take place, what recovery looks like, because it's not about if I have the surgery, it's more about when. If, the Lord sees fit, he can save my hearing, and hopefully I don't even have to have the surgery.
Probably don't.
But I'm preparing myself.
Just in case.
Just in case,
Oh,
right? So,
Jesus.
I really appreciate people, the support, the love, the reach out, and Talk of the Town will be back. Not sure exactly where our home will be, but I'm so gracious of Hot 702.5 FM
like
for
Hot
hosting us.
702.5. This
I'm
place
so
is the
proud
bomb.
of EC who does her thing. I think only family calls her that, but I probably jump on in there with the EC. For having us and hosting us and giving
she's
us a
a
great
beautiful lady.
platform to jump off on. So, any parting words?
Yeah. Ephesians 6:4. Fathers, don't provoke your children to anger.
Period.
Okay, now a little bit about that in layman's terms. Don't treat them fairly. Don't punish them unfairly. We talked about punishment and discipline. It is a way to do it.
That's a way to do it.
It's a way to do it. And mothers, don't provoke your children to anger either. But the Bible in Ephesians 6:4 says, talk to the fathers.
Right.
And I don't know what daddy that's for, but take it easy on your kids.
And take it easy on yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So thank you for listening. It's J9. You can find me J9 Roberts on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm just posting a little something here or there, but I will also be posting some things about my diagnosis.
I'm Bneshab. You can find me at Instagram at Copeace Niche.
And with that, we've had a great time. We are out. We send love and prayers.
God bless.
Amen.
Amen.
What's up, everybody? It's your main man, 360 the Poet. Hey, Las Vegas, get ready to celebrate Freedom Day with Rainbow Dreams Educational Foundation at the 23rd Annual Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival. It's going down Saturday, June 15th from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Expo World Market Center located at 435 South Grand Central Parkway. Join us for a Jubilee celebration like no other, featuring food, vendors, live DJs, prizes, and a free concert you won't want to miss, featuring Billboard Top 10 artist Jay Brown, along with Maya Milan, Vice City, and Vegas' own Ray Millie. Free health screenings provided by Southern Nevada Health District. There's a kid zone, prizes, giveaways, and more. Empowering people and igniting the culture at the 23rd Annual Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival. For more information or to register for your e-tickets, visit June19lv.com. That's June19 LV.com. This event is powered by Zappos, Google, and the Love Live campaign. Love freely, love openly, love fearlessly. Live you equals you.